Howdy partners, as you can see, quite a beautiful day today, mid-December 2024. I've been putting off going out on the bike due to the cold and the wet, and even today was kind of a titchy bit lethargic, but ultimately this beautiful bike comes a beckoning and makes it seem like freezing your cojones off. So I thought I'd go out today. Wanted to have a little purpose to my ride, so I thought, how about a little farm shop visit? Haven't done one of those in a long time. There's something I specifically need. I actually want to get my pizza oven going today, my pizza oven, because it needs to be really fired up every month to dry it out from the inside, all the damp. And it's been a few months since I fired it up, I think, so it's overdue. And I thought, well, getting the pizzas actually organised is requires the family to be all in sync. For whatever reason, it just hasn't been happening. Although we still purpose to do it over like Christmas holidays, but that's not the only thing you can actually cook in a outdoor oven. So I had in mind to cook some lamb chops in there today for a change. I've cooked steaks in there before. It's great for it, really. Just have to let the embers die down, and then you can cook whatever you like in there. And yeah, absolutely beautiful day for it. This farm is called Gorse farm. I haven't been to it before. It's really important now to get organic if you can, but unfortunately the ride to somewhere where I can get organic meat is not that fascinating. Or it's either that, or you go to Leicestershire, which is pretty good but quite a long ride, round trip, or down to Sainsbury's, but that's really boring and it's not going to be very good content wise. So I thought, okay, well, let's go for some non-organic today, but at the same time support another local farm shop, and one that I haven't spent my hard-earned cash in before. And yeah, we hear that Bill Gates is up to his latest antics again, trying to put his latest product in the cows to stop them farting, as if cows farting was the real problem, whilst they do nothing to address the problems with companies like Monsanto, who are totally polluting the environment, who Bill Gates has shares in. And indeed, you know, it's a really tough time for farmers here in the UK. I would say around the world, especially in Europe. You have the city-dwelling bureaucrats who seem to loathe the English countryside, but they're also in bed with these big food, gargantuan food companies who, it seems, would have it in mind to take over the farms and replace the traditional farming lifestyle with industrialised farm operations, which is not going to be healthy for me and you, that's for sure. So the farmers are at it, trying to fight communist Keir Starmer, or shall we say extreme socialist. Yeah, it's a very difficult time if you're a farmer, so I feel privileged to go and support a local farm shop again, and apologise that I haven't done so in a while. This is what we got to do, guys, to fight this New World Order. And I just wish more farms would do organic food. That really is a need in the area where I live. We had one farm that did it local to me that can't operate on a profit basis, so stopped, which was the Antrobus farm, but they've diversified into other things. So yeah, a little caveat to what I'm going to say next. I am the last person on earth to be an anti-Semite. My grandma, her name was Margot Rosenthal on my dad's side, and I would class her as a Holocaust survivor. As far as I'm concerned, the Holocaust started in 1933. She escaped Nazi Germany with her sister as a young woman in 39 spring, just before the noose tightened and it became impossible to escape. Her parents sadly were left behind and perished. So I'm not one of those Holocaust denier idiots. But yeah, posting a video on JewTube.
Looting all Western countries so I can get to my shekels faster. Shekels faster. Shekels faster. Shekels faster. Shekels faster.
Shooting the toxic vaccine so I can get my shekels faster.
And why these neo-Nazis types call it JewTube, here's a beautiful little lake, because, and this is rather boring, stuck behind the learner here, let's see if we can overtake. A lot of these big tech companies are headed up by Jewish people. Think of Zuckerberg at Facebook, the Google guys, not Twitter, that's Elon Musk, he's African American. A lot of big pharma companies headed up by Jews. You have what you could call a Jewish elite. Jewish mafia is kind of synonymous, isn't it? Elite and mafia, really. But the point being, you know, let's see if we can get past. It's not just the Jews who are in the elite, okay? And we spoke about Bill Gates a few moments ago. He's not Jewish, but he wants everybody to get his medicines injected. Everybody on the planet, ideally, for him. But yeah, there are Jews in charge of some of the big pharma companies. Look at Bola, the head of Pfizer. Ching did super well in the pandemic. Lined his pockets nicely. But the trap that these neo-Nazi types fall into, and sadly there's a lot of them in the anti-vax movement, and a lot of people who maybe were not that way inclined have been persuaded to be that way. They just come out with this term, the Jews, as if everybody in Israel agrees with what Netanyahu is doing, which is, you know, ethnic cleansing. Let's face it. That's what he's doing. Well, there are many Jews who disagree with that, but yeah, JewTube, and they have their this video that I am surprised isn't banned.
Shekels faster.
Oy vey. Orting all your offspring so I can get to my shekels faster.
Commission to Jewish born kids so I can get my shekels faster.
Consuming products you don't need so I can get to my shekels faster.
Which clearly must originate from some neo-Nazi, but you never know, could be a Jewish person doing it as kind of a reality satire. But amazingly, it's not banned off the JewTube. And yeah, interesting what's going on in Syria. So these neo-Nazi types, they'll say the Jews, and they'll say they're behind everything, and they'll say that Jews are not real Jews. All this anti-Semitic diatribe trash, and just like Hitler did, he tried to classify who was a good Jew and a bad Jew because he was surrounded in his inner circle by Jews, believe it or not. Milch, look it up, the Luftwaffe guy. Look up Emil Morris. Read the book Hitler's Jewish Soldiers. Some conspiracies say that Hitler had Jewish blood himself from the Rothschild, Baron Rothschild, who instantly... okay, road ahead closed. What am I going to do here? Don't know. Yeah, Hitler enabled the Baron, the Rothschild, to escape from Austria. It's a fascinating story. Look it up on Wikipedia. And he also gave safe passage to his superior officer in World War I, who nominated Hitler for the Iron Cross, right? He made sure that guy got out safe. So these were what Hitler called good Jews, aside the Jews he had in his inner circle. And was it Hanussen, was it? The mystic that Hitler used in the... I might not be able to make it to this farm, you know. I don't know where I'm going to go from here. The mystic that he used in the 30s, who then Hitler disposed of because probably because he knew too much. So can we get around these back streets of Nuneaton? Not disrespecting Nuneaton, but I don't want to get clobbered over the back of the head by some chav. Right, is this going to calculate a new route for me? Looks like it. Ah, it's not that bad here. Here we are. So Syria, well, yeah, these neo-Nazis, they'll say that the Jews behind absolutely everything that goes wrong in the world. Exactly the same as what the Nazis said. Lying scum. But they failed to differentiate between the Jewish people and the elite Jewish people, who are just the same as any other elite, whether Gentile or Jewish. They are a mafia. They run the show. And they have some quite... They're basically Bond villains, right? I'm beginning to think that the Bond villains in James Bond are not that super far-fetched from the truth. You know, they want everyone to flipping be microchipped and jabbed, and they want to take away your freedom of speech, and they want to censor you. It was interesting because the Jewish author Heinrich Heine, a German Jew, said where they burn books they will next burn people, which is a chilling macabre prophecy for what was to come on the Jewish people in Germany. And really, censorship is kind of like that. First they'll censor you, then they'll kill you, you know. But like I said, it's not just Jewish people in that elite, although. So how would you explain it in kind of non-fascist terms? The reason so many Jewish guys are so successful in the media, big pharma, politics. Let's see if we can get out. Thank you very much. What else are they good at? The violin, there's another explanation for that altogether. Let's just say, yeah, entertainment, showbiz, media, big tech. Well, you know, we're talking about a very highly intelligent race, a very driven people that have been pushed down. So if you're put down, that makes you determined to do well, to break out of persecution. Okay, no one's letting him go. I feel like we can just follow the traffic round. Yeah, and my sat nav's picked up now. This is a pain. And yeah, just determined to succeed. So in the case of the violin, you know, the Russian Jew living in the Jewish enclave who was subject to pogroms and endless persecutions and discrimination. They couldn't be inside the city of St. Petersburg after dark. This is where the elders of the Protocol of Zion also came from, around Russia, but that I kind of take with a pinch of salt, but I don't disregard completely that particular document. But so their mothers would, and it was my Jewish auntie who told me this. Howdy partner. They would push their boys and their fathers to do well in classical music, because that was a way out for them. And that's why we have the likes of Jascha Heifetz, although he's a bit different. He was a born genius, but he was pushed pretty hard in his childhood by his dad. You know, Nathan Milstein, Leonid Kogan, David Oistrakh. I'm just mentioning violinists, but of course you have all the pianists, the cellists, Piotr Gorsky, you know, Vladimir Horowitz, all this, who were pushed super hard to do well, because classical music was a way of emancipating themselves, of being recognised by the Gentiles, and breaking out of poverty, right? But again, the Jewish people have an affinity for playing Christian music. The Ave Maria by Jascha Heifetz is really unparalleled, unmatched by no one can play it like him, and no one ever will be able to, as far as I'm concerned. The perfect double stops, octave double stops in that piece. Listen, check it out, listen to it. So yeah, they're an intelligent people. I mean, it's like the Indians, right? And the Indians have found themselves in conflict with the Jews in parts of London, in kind of the real estate business, because they are also super successful and driven, and so actually competing with Jewish this is a bit hairy here, Jewish businesses, and taking business away from them in parts of London, you know. Let's try and get out. Here we go. This is a good bit of practice, actually. Oh no, not road ahead closed. Good, I'm going left. This is a good bit of practice on the MT-10, because I haven't done any round town riding on this much yet. Still very fresh to this bike, because again, I've bought it at a time of year where that's not conducive to biking, although I'm really determined to be a hardcore biker now and an all-weather biker. So let's park that Jewish topic now here on JewTube and talk about let's talk about this bike for a bit. So the nonsense chat is over. Let's talk about something interesting. Yeah, so Mad Dog's an Englishman. I'm determined this year to do what a couple of times I've done with biker buddies of mine, some of whom are now not really biking anymore, and that is to go out on Boxing Day for a ride. But I'm not far off, because it's the 14th today. There was me thinking the weather was going to be bad today, cold, and it was going to warm up tomorrow, and I don't have a lot of time tomorrow to go out, but in actual fact it's turned out beautiful. I haven't got my heated grips on today. Don't really need them. If I had them on full pelt, my hands would be too hot now. I'd be getting uncomfortable. So yeah, I'm glad I ventured out today, and more to follow in a few days. Shall I go out if it's raining? I think I will. I think I'm determined this year to do it, as a kind of a harking back to an old tradition. Last time I was out on Boxing Day, actually, was on my Gixxer, and one time we had to turn back because on our way to Stratford, four of us I think, and it was just so icy. We had to turn back. So I don't think there'll be ice and snow this year, just looking at the forecast. It will be around 5-7 degrees, I reckon. So we'll see how we get on. Ah, look, here we are, look. Just outside the town, are we? Okay, it must be coming up fairly soon. We're at the postcode in 0.4 miles. And somewhere along here, I'm hoping that I'll see a sign for the Gorse farm, which has a farm shop and, of course, a butcher. Encouraging to see a couple of the bikers out today. Right, could this be it coming up here? No, this is something else. Or is it? Cows. Cow. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. It says Cowshed Butchery, so it's a bit difficult. This Gorse farm is in a smaller print. Here we are.
I was going to write you a letter. When I turned the page, I'd have the courage, yeah. And it's tough to let go even after all of this time. You are the reason why I'm fucked up, was drugged up. I lucked out 'cause I believed in all those lies. That you loved me, you never loved me. I don't know how to accept that what you did still colors me black. And it's got me like, I feel so, made this void now, you don't look back. And it's got me like, I feel so, let's let you there. Let's let you there. What you did still colors me black. And it's got me like, feel so, made this void now, you don't look back. It's and I still see you smiling when you said to me, don't be a crybaby. And I've been told that you moved now, even though I still feel the echo.